Welcome to the Iron Table. I'm your host, Brian Godine, and I'm joined by my co-host, Mr. Keith Jones. As iron sharpens iron, so should men sharpen men. We are here to enlighten, inspire, and relight that fire called self. So come on, pull up a chair, sit for a while, for truth is always on the menu.
You got it.
We now join the program already in progress. Welcome to the Iron Table. This is a podcast that I've wanted to have since maybe after the end of the first year of the Iron Table. You know what they say, behind every good man is an even better woman, and there's two men at the Iron Table, but behind us, and it's not even behind us, I would say beside us, and sometimes going in front of us, are these two special women who have graciously allowed us to kind of talk about some things. So I wanted to have a podcast where we brought from the other side of the table our significant others, and to just highlight, to love on them, to answer some questions that they might have, and even ask a question or two that we might have, to really talk about Black love, talk about just honor, respect, love, and all those positive things that really just helps a relationship grow. We all understand that every day is a good day or a rosy day, but I believe each morning we all wake up saying, I'm going to try to be my best for the other person that I make myself vulnerable to. So I'm Bryant, and I'm joined by my lovely wife, Charmiciel Godine, affectionately known as Misi.
Hello.
Hello.
And I'm going to let my co-host introduce his lovely person.
Thank you,
Yeah,
man.
I can't.
What?
No, I'm bad at handing this stuff off. So
I know. That's okay.
He said what?
That's all right.
Already emotional. I know. Look at that.
We gonna work with. That's all right. That's what we do. This, everybody, is Miss Danielle Gallen. She's my sweetheart, Snuggle Wiggum, Snuggle Bunnies. She is. Okay, she is. Why are you looking at me like that? This is my warm up to the warm up.
Okay.
This is my warm up to the warm up. She is my friend, my bestest friend, my buddy. She is my sweetheart. She is my she is a motivation. She is a light. She is a reminder. She is, you know, when you got the check engine light that come on, she's a check engine light that come on to tell you what's you doing something wrong.
I know that's right. I was gonna say that's your fiance, boo.
She is my fiance every day.
That's why I looked at you. I'm like,
I know. I was getting to that. I was getting to it. Yes. She is the fiance. Plan to be one day, August. We're going to upgrade that to the full status of wife. Looking forward to that day. Y'all going to be there, right? Yes, you
Sure
will.
will.
Of course, yeah. Of course.
Front and center.
Maybe standing beside you, maybe opening the door to let people in. I'm going, however y'all need me, I'm going to be.
You still wear the ruffled shirt, powder blue suit? If I
I'm
actually
ready to come out with some dance moves. Like, I got that new hip. I'm ready to.
are you gonna wear the afro
Oh, you see me growing it out now, right?
with the cane? You got the cane too.
Yeah, I got a cane.
like, oh,
No, that's a medical
Now
cane.
wait a minute now.
That's a
He got to be
medical
my
cane.
date also.
It's the cane that the men wore in, like, you know.
BC, have you seen him dance?
We dance. We dance.
Where?
Why are you shaking your head? No, we do
Well, I
dance.
mean, before, with the messed up hip, I
I was
only
gonna
had
say,
a one and
you
a half
had-
step. So
But we danced before the hip, and we dance now.
now,
you might want to
am
preview
I a
these
better
new
dancer
moves.
now or before the hip?
I'm gonna say now.
Yeah, I'd agree. That hip was locked. It was
Was
painful.
it really feeling that bad?
Oh yeah, it just felt like sometimes my leg would just like pop out. If I had to do it, it was like feel like it would just pop out of socket, and so that's why I was appreciative of Adventism because you didn't really have to dance. One of the reasons of joining Adventism.
I don't know
was
that
like,
Listen,
Adventism. My
don't
family
dance.
You
dance.
always don't have to dance.
Yeah.
I ain't have to
Always.
see David dance how I dance, just a slow, just
Listen to
Nah,
me.
you don't
Right at
lose
the
all your
top.
clothes.
My Adventist family dance.
okay. That's
David
yours,
danced
but
and filled his clothes till he was naked in the
I'm a
streets.
product of Christian education. They whipped the dance out of me. So
They
there's
did.
no dance. We can sway. That's about it. Just sway.
2-step and a sway.
So if you do have dancing, I guess I can probably come out on the floor and
He gonna do a
and
little something.
Just a little
I
something.
believe
not
A
that.
much.
little something.
Because if I do too much, somebody might throw some dollars. I used to do that at Oakwood. They called me cinnamon stick. That's because I was spicy. I was brown and spicy. Cinnamon stick. But those days is over now.
Are they though?
I had to jingle jangle for some change to get through Oakwood.
Oh, I believe that tuition is real.
It's
Yeah.
real.
So-
It is real.
Something strange for a little change.
And the good thing is that there was no TikTok, there was no video recording. If you had a
Nobody
VHS,
has your past.
nobody has my past. That's
Thank you,
the
God.
joy of being this old.
Yes, it
Nobody
is.
has my past.
It is.
Yeah, we did some dumb stuff.
Yeah.
Was it? I mean, dumb.
Yes.
Some of it could be borderline bullying. It
You was a
depends.
bully?
I was not a bully. It's just that now some of the pranks, the antics that we did, could
Yeah.
be categorized under, bullying or hazing. That's a better term, hazing,
Better term.
because we did it with love, and we love to do it. So it's kind of the same.
True.
So, yeah, this is actually our second attempt of trying to do this. The first time we did it, somebody's iPhone was messing up the audio and really couldn't hear it. I don't have an iPhone. I'm Android all day, every day.
All day, every day.
I think it was with the mic. Remember that?
I remember it was. I just know
It
it
was
was
a
that.
mic
I'm
and it
not
was an
sure.
echo, and
Yeah.
I heard the echo. I talked about the echo, but
Yeah,
I
we
didn't
have
hear- I couldn't
Amazon
hear it.
products here. They're called Echoes. Yes, we do have those. Yes. But one of the things that we asked, and you said that y'all were engaged. How did y'all meet? What led you to the Love Jones? I like to call it the Love Jones.
Oh, is that your hashtag?
No,
That's-
Ooh, I like
I think it's
that.
going to be a gallon of Jones.
Can I say this first? Bryant was the first to come out with a hashtag for marriage. He was the first person I saw. It was Team Goodine. And everything he posted was Team Goodine. And now I notice every time a couple is getting married, they have a hashtag. And all I can think of, my husband came up with that.
Yeah,
That's
we
my
did.
husband.
We don't
We
get
can't
any
get no
money.
royalties for it, but he came up with it.
I know that's right.
So kind of walk me through. I've heard the story. I think I've heard the story a little bit from Keith, but Danielle, you tell me the story, and Keith adds his part, and then we somehow get to the point. My favorite part was the engagement. I don't know about that was my favorite part.
That was beautiful.
Oh, it was funny.
And y'all were there.
Yeah, we were there. We weren't in it like Keith's brother, but we were there.
Yeah, he was in it. He's
So
funny.
tell us, we'll tell you our story. I'll start first. So, church, I was a Sabbath school teacher. I was talking about Jesus, felt Jesus, bringing people to the word, trying to bring people back. And I saw this beautiful woman. I was like, oh, she cute. I want to talk to her. So I said, hey, you want to hang out? Now in Adventist terms, hang out means you want to go out, you want to, go get something to eat, you want to have a dating activity. So I send her a message and, I tell her, and she was like, okay, cool. She ghosted me for like 2 weeks. I was like, how do you, I'm putting myself out there on the altar inside God's tabernacle.
I did not ghost him.
And say, hey, you want to go out, hang out? And I had to go on Facebook. Luckily, I had a Facebook account. So we're married with 10 years now.
11 in June.
11 in June.
Woo!
So add 2 years before that.
I know.
So Facebook was still kind of new. People were just, all they were doing was trying to, find their old classmates to see where they are and stuff. But I was trying to find her. Because I was like...
But we were already friends on Facebook.
We were already friends on... I didn't really have your number. So I'm like, how can I get in contact with you if I don't see you at church? And I'm like, Facebook, hey, I'm reaching out. Can you respond? What's going on? What you got that many offers that I'm just down the line, and so she finally responded. We went out on that first date. I'll remember that because one of the things she told me, she was like, "I don't let anybody in my house on a first date, not at all." And I was like, "Okay." I got a place to live. I'm not a hobo. I use the bathroom at the bowling alley or wherever we go to eat. I don't have to come in your house and say I need to use the bathroom, can have some coffee. I don't even drink coffee. But so I walk her to her door. She goes in, and I'm walking back. I get into my SUV and I'm driving out and I get a phone call.
I couldn't close my door.
She's like, I can't close my door. And I was like, I mean, if you think I'm that easy,
I guess that was the
And so she couldn't close her door.
I
and it
really
was just
couldn't close my door.
All it was a strike plate
was it the
on
door
her
to
door.
the house or to the car?
My apartment.
Your apartment.
I could not close the door. I was like, what? I got to call this dude because he's the closest one to the house that can fix it.
See, I was this dude back then. Sometimes I'm this dude if I say something wrong. But so it was just a simple, couple of screws. The strike plate had came loose. And ever since then,
yeah,
I didn't go out. I didn't go on any other dates. I shut down Black Planet.
What?
Yeah, Black Planet died. That was.
I didn't hear this story.
Oh yeah, all that. I mean, Black Planet.
But you talking
no
about
more.
My story. Though?
No more AOL chat rooms where I was meeting people like in Kansas.
But you talking about my story though.
Yeah, I shut everything down because I was like, why? What? I mean, I got into the room on the first date, so I must be important.
He got to the door.
I got inside. I had to step inside.
That's further than that's
he
progress.
Got to the door.
I had to step inside.
Be very clear.
I had to step inside in order to fix it.
Got to the door.
Stepped inside to fix it. So that's our story, and like I said,
that's your story. Wait a minute.
Okay, well tell it from your point of view.
Wait a minute.
Tell it from your point of view.
Okay, same thing happened. We went on a date. But he's not his view is not my view. So he did send me a message through Facebook. I had not been in Sabbath school for a couple of weeks. I don't know how many weeks, but when I got back to Sabbath school, my Sabbath school teacher was him. And I was like, oh, they changed Sabbath school teachers. But I went to Sabbath school, and I want to say it was that day he said we should hang out. But let me be very clear. Most of my friends were males. So hang out to me just means we're friends. So
that's on the street, but we were talking about in Adventist circle. Hang out.
Okay, let me be very clear about this. I went to public school, and I didn't date too many Adventist men. So to me, hang out meant he just wanted to hang out. So it was in the summer. It is no question of where I'm going to be. There is a question of where I'm going to be on the Sabbath in the summer. I can be anywhere from the park to the zoo to church. So me not being at church doesn't mean that I'm not with God on Sabbath. So for him to say we're going to hang out, I was like, all right, we'll hang out when I see him again. And I moved on to whatever I was doing, Sabbath church, Sabbath park, new church, whatever. And then all of a sudden, I get a message from him saying, "Hey, I want a date. Like, I want to take you out somewhere. Can I get your number?" He didn't have
Let
my
me spell
number.
it out for you. Well,
Let me spell it out.
This is what's getting ready to
But
happen.
most of my friends at the time were males. So to hang out to me just meant you wanted to watch the basketball game, or we were going to go sit at the bar and eat appetizers while you watch a game. That didn't mean that you liked me. That just mean we were hanging out. He met one of my closest friends, which was a male, so he should know that that's what that meant. I was very close to a lot of guys platonically. So it was like, okay, we're going to hang out when I see him again.
I gotta agree with Kamisi. The hangout, I don't know if that's a Seventh-day Adventist thing, because if a guy tells me he want to hang out, I'm gonna think the same thing. Oh, we're hanging out, buddy.
Yeah, that's my boy.
Yeah.
How
in
many
order to go-
boys do I have? Ask him how many boys do I have.
But in order to go out, in order to have a date, you're like, hey,
It was a real date too. Like it was.
Oh, I took her to some
It
places.
was legit. It
'Cause
was
I
a
was-
legit date.
I had to squeeze like 5 dates into one because I wasn't sure if it was going to happen again.
It
He gonna
was.
ghost
It was
me.
about 5 dates in one. At least 3.
Yeah, went out to eat, went bowling, we did something else. I was
Went to
like-
Rita's. It was like
Yeah.
an all-day event. I was like, dang.
I had to make sure because again, you ghosted me.
Let me tell you how much I thought he was going to hang out. I didn't have locks. I had natural hair. I took out my braids the day before the date, and I just had a bush ball and a hat on for the hangout. That was our first date. So he must really like me.
He really liked you.
He must have really
He
liked
really
me.
liked you.
Cause I walked in, he was all decked out, had a polo shirt on, shorts, his little shoes. He looked good.
I mean,
I
looking
was
good
like,
out there.
ooh, I look like the hobo.
Dean Green would
This not me.
be proud of you.
I had a green tank top on with some chucks, some little Bermuda shorts, and a ball cap with a bush ball in the back. That was our first date. So the next date, I had to bring it. I had my heels on. You know, I had to bring it to him. I had to give it to him. We went to Red Lobster the second date.
Yeah, so
I had to make sure I was right because that first
I
date,
enjoyed the
yeah.
frumpiness. And
He
so
looked like
now
he
I'm
got the
frumpy.
girl
I
off
was
the
going
street.
to say.
He looked like he got the girl off the street the first date.
Did her look bother you on the first date?
No, I mean I was like
It should have.
I was like this. We're going out, and when I first saw her, I was like, "Oh, okay, all right. Well, you got to get to know the personality before you see all the other stuff, right?" So, I thought you was coming out with personality.
I thought we was just hanging out, so I gave him the hangout. Oh, he
You gave
just
him
said
the
we was
hangout
hanging
look.
out. Let me blow my afro out. I put it in the bush, and all of this was in the bush.
Wow.
All that was in the bush with a black ball cap.
And he called you back. You
And
must
he
have.
called me back, so he really liked me.
Actually, you called me back first.
I called you. I must have thought I needed to call you because.
Because you needed me to fix the door, so that could
Oh
be
yeah,
you were to call back.
You're right. I was like, "Ooh, boo, my door. I need you to come fix this door."
So after the 5 days, he came, and the 5 and 1 dates, he came and fixed your door on the same day.
Same
Yeah.
day. That was we
that's
were
good.
together
Yeah.
all day.
Yeah, I had put out, just husband
Yeah, you
vibes.
put it all
I
out
did
there.
it all out,
He did.
Yeah,
He
you-
did.
So, Lisi, what was your thought process, and how did you gauge him as a man for that being your first date?
I'm gonna be honest, Daniel. I don't think I was thinking that far. I think maybe a year before we started dating, I had broke up with a guy from 5 years, and I was playing. So if you said we was going on a date, it was a game. I'm not gonna say it was a game to me, but it was a gain. It was like, oh, I ain't gotta make myself dinner. Oh, you gonna take me to brunch? Okay. I wasn't really into dating anyone. It was just, I'm having fun.
You're hanging out.
Yeah, because that was the word he used, was hanging out. So I was like, sad to say, it was kind of like, all right, I'll put you in the rotation.
But you see what I did with the hangout?
Literally,
you see how I took a hangout
I'll put you in the rotation,
and made it forever?
and we'll see how this go. I
So
haven't
at what
dated an
point
Adventist in a long time, to be honest. The guy I
Mm.
dated, the guy I was serious about before Bryant was 5 years, and he wasn't an Adventist. And we dated for 5 years before we broke up. And then after that, it was like, I'm going to go back to my freshman, sophomore college years where, like I said, if you want to date, we'll go on a date. I'm not looking for anything. I'm not going to give you anything. I'm not looking for you to give me anything. We just knowing each other. So when, like he said, he had to stop. It was like after the first date, I was like, oh, wait a minute. I might need to put these guys in the back and see what he's talking about a little bit. And that's literally what I had to do. Like instantly. It was like, I don't want him to think he's in the rotation. He might not need to be in the rotation, so I'll push these guys back a little bit. Let me see what he's talking about. And then if not, I'll put him in the rotation. But as you see, they
made the cut.
Yeah, he made the cut. He made the cut.
Listen, if he didn't make the cut after all of that, I don't know that.
He didn't even know he was in a rotation, that he could have potentially been in a rotation. He didn't even know that was, when I told him, he was like, what? What? I was in the, it was potential? Yeah, you was on your way to a rotation. You said, hang out. That's what they said.
Again, I took a hangout and turned it into forever.
Yeah, he did.
Just think if I did a date. If I said date first, I said hang out, hang out, and look what happened.
Yeah. So
I remember saying to my mom, he is over here a lot.
Now that makes me seem homeless.
I was like, Mom, he is always calling me, talking about he on his way. She was like, what if he's your husband? What? She said, what if he's your husband? What are you talking about? Girl, bye. This man ain't my husband. He said hang out. We finna hang out. We gonna hang out. That's what he said.
10 years later, y'all still hanging.
We still hanging out daily.
Really?
We have daily slumber parties.
Okay.
When did it change for you? When did you start seeing him like,
The first date. I put everybody back after the first date.
I mean, like husband material.
Yeah, that wasn't the first date. It was more like the first date I could say I didn't want him to be hurt. Like I didn't want to do something and say because he was over. Like it was like, hey, what you doing? Okay, I'm on my way over there. So I never wanted it to be he's saying he on his way over and some other guy saying, hey, I'm coming over and we gonna go out. And he meets up and it's like, oh, I thought it was us. So I was like, well, I'm going to push them to the back. Let me stop answering their calls to see what he got going for himself first.
Right.
And then I think we went on, I invited him to North Carolina.
Oh, yeah, I did go to North Carolina.
I invited him to North Carolina, and it was weird to say it out of my mouth. Like, you want to go with me you want to go with me to North Carolina? What were we going for?
I mean, it was just, I think.
It was like a holiday or something.
Maybe they had something for your grandparents or maybe your grandfather.
He literally asked me to go. We had done all this stuff with my family. And he said, we should have some time for just us. We still kind of wasn't really dating yet. And he was like, or we had just started because we didn't start dating until that June. And then so it might have been like Independence Day. And he said, we were going to Taco Bell. We were literally going to go to Taco Bell just to be by ourselves.
Just get them alone.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that Taco Bell.
And I was like, wow, like he might be my husband.
What did you appreciate? What made you appreciate that so much?
I think it might have been like just the fact that he was like, we need time to ourselves. It wasn't like a physical thing. It was like we literally was just going, because everything in Kinston, North Carolina, is down the street. So it's not like you're going 20 minutes away or 30 minutes away. Everything is 10 minutes, 5 minutes away. And just us going to Taco Bell to get some soft tacos it seemed like everything to us. And it was like, wow, I could do this. And then it was a time we left my mom's when we got back. And I think we both were like, I think we're in love. Like, it was kind of like a thing together of, I think we're in love. I think I'm in love with him. And he said, I think I'm in love with you. And we both were like, yeah, I think this is a thing.
Wow.
I think this is a thing.
While you were at Taco Bell?
I think we weren't in love until we were coming from my mom's house. But Taco Bell was a real serious momentum. Like, this is a relationship. It was more than just, it's weird that it was Taco Bell. Because we don't even go to Taco Bell that often. We don't even go to Taco Bell. Huh?
They probably already put something in the food.
He put something in your food.
He probably did.
Some Robinson secret dust.
Robinson.
Good ass secret dust. He was like, she finna be mine.
That makes me sound, I can't even say it because we don't promote that type of actions. Make it sound like I slipped something in your food.
You slipped something in my
drink. Food. No, but I mean, yeah, I do remember, the Taco Bell, call that a Kinston date.
Yep, that's what you called it. You called it a Kinston date.
It was very low. I think Taco Bell might have went to Walmart.
We went to Walmart and we drove past the baseball field.
Yeah, it was very simple.
It was real. It was probably the most simplest date we've had in 11 years.
Yeah, and every time we go back to North Carolina, I'm like, hey, let's just go, call it a Kinston date. We just go to Walmart or
It's funny how you guys remember all of the details from it, even though it was so simple.
Crazy that I remember those. That was over 11 years ago. And I remember all of we were just dating.
Yep.
And I knew, I'm going to be honest, I knew if not my dad, but if he got past my grandfather, I knew it was something. Because I've had an ex that couldn't stand my grandfather. To this day, I don't know what my grandfather say to men when they get alone. Well, yes, I do, because my grandfather Bryant has still never told me. But my grandfather told his mother what he told Bryant. And I was like, yeah, I wouldn't like you either if you told somebody that.
I mean, I've never been worried about your grapfather.
But he threatened you, though.
It is your grandmother.
What did he say?
Pinched my butt.
Apparently he told all of my boyfriends that he'll kill them if they hurt me.
I got student loans. That might have been a blessing.
He told them he'd kill them. When my grandfather told his mother at my sister's graduation, I told your son if he hurts my granddaughter, I got a bullet with his name on it. I was like, Granddaddy, how you tell that to that man's mother?
It ain't the first time.
It ain't the first.
To the man's mother though.
He just had to let it be known.
He let her know. It was like, and he said to me, I want her to know. Like, that's exactly what he said. I want her to know.
It's like he giving a confession before he does it.
Right.
He did.
But again, I wasn't worried about your grandfather. It was your grandmother.
That's your girlfriend.
Well, no, yeah, because
that was his girlfriend. When we were married, he had an affair with my grandmother because that was her boyfriend. He has had a sugar mama before.
Oh,
that was her boyfriend.
You ain't tell me that.
He ain't tell you about the sugar mama?
There's nothing to tell because I did not initiate contact.
He did not. She said, girl, how you wake up to that voice every morning?
Yeah, so I was like, it's a little too much.
He got her glasses. Excuse me, she's been passed for 7 years.
Yeah.
He got her glasses in his car.
I still have those. Oh, okay.
You still
That's
got
his
the
book.
glasses.
No, I gave them to your mom. I
You
don't have.
did?
Yeah, I don't have them.
Oh.
The ones with the G on the side or something.
It was like glitter studs around the.
Oh, your mom has that.
Oh, he gave
Yeah,
them
that was
away.
no. Why would I hold?
He-
I mean,
He used
it's
to
more
drive.
sentimental.
Excuse me. He used to drive with my grandma glasses in his car. That was his boo. Or he was her boo.
Yes, that's how you say it.
And she told me she was courting. I said, who you courting? Him right here. I said, my boyfriend? That's my boyfriend. Oh, I'm sorry.
And I was making these faces like,
Yeah, she had a crush
Yeah.
on
You,
She had a crush
you
on
know
my
you
then
were in love.
boyfriend.
That's sweet. That's funny.
so that's our story.
That's our story.
That's an awesome thing. It's an awesome thing to know how well he was received. And it's an awesome thing to know that in spite of what granddaddy said, that he wasn't, that didn't threaten him at all. He
Yeah.
stuck around and he knew like,
I
this is
respect
who I
him for
want.
it. Because,
Yeah.
like I said, I've actually had a boyfriend that told me he didn't care for my grandfather, and I never knew why. And then when he told his mother, I told your son I have a bullet with his name on it, it was like, oh, okay, that's why. That's why the last boyfriend didn't like you.
Yeah, okay. Makes
Well,
sense
it was
now.
2 boyfriends ago. It was actually 2 boyfriends ago, but okay, I get it. You told this man you'll kill him.
Nobody wants to be killed.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure he was serious because he got guns everywhere. So
I mean, don't mess up. That's
Yeah.
as
You
a
go-
future grandfather.
if you go
one
to
day,
my
hopefully-
granddaddy's house with Deuce or your sons, Danielle, you going in first picking up guns. And I'm afraid of guns. I'm literally like, Pop, can you take this gun and put it back somewhere? Because they on the dining room table.
It's like silverware.
It's sitting on the
Please say
end
like
table
silverware.
by his big chair. It's sitting in the it's guns everywhere. You're not just walking in. Hold on,
So he-
Deuce. You stay outside. It's 9 degrees outside, but you staying right here. Let me get him to pick these guns up first.
So you're not
he
killing-
won't lie. There must be a bullet somewhere with a
Yeah,
name
he's
on it. 'cause
he's
it's
for
out
real.
there. Yeah,
He can
dead
back it up.
serious. He
He
backing
can
it
back
up.
it up.
He
He
backing
in there
it
not
up.
killing. He killing flies with bullets. Shotgun pellet. You want this fly swatter, granddaddy? Nah, hand me that rifle. Give me that shotgun. I got it.
Not that one. My flash.
Not that one. Right. Not that one.
But let me say, he loves Brian. He absolutely
Oh, yeah.
loves Brian. Brian is his grandson, not his grandson-in-law. Brian is his grandson.
That's good.
So,
he
It went from
clearly
your
loves
name got a bullet on it to you're my grandson. I can say that.
That's
That's good to
good.
know. That's us. I mean, that's us.
That's us. That's us.
That's us. No.
He's-
You want to know that you loved my grandpa?
You said my
The
what?
narrative has changed.
I mean, he's cool. We talk. We can talk. I mean, I wish he still had an 18-wheeler so I could, climb up in the cab. And,
Yeah, you missed all those years.
Well, I mean, we weren't. I mean, if you didn't ghost me, maybe I could have caught some of that. Those 2 weeks. But
No, he had
um,
already retired, so you missed it. But
But yeah,
they
I mean,
always go
grandfather's
out
schools. Yeah,
when we go to Kinston. They always have to go by themselves.
yeah. That's to reiterate the gun story. No.
He always makes sure that they go my grandfather always makes sure that they go somewhere by themselves.
That's
It's
nice.
one of those Brian just sitting around and he said, "Come on, Brian, let's go," and they gone.
I got nothing to do. Just take whatever vehicle I bring down.
They gone.
Lowe's,
Have you
So,
seen the truck?
Home Depot, Lowe's and Home Depot.
Big Blue probably.
Big Blue. Yeah,
Big
Go
Blue.
to Big
yeah.
Blue.
I like Big Blue or
And they
Piggly
probably go to the pool hall because my grandfather is big on go. It's not really the pool hall. It's
Only went
really the
once.
senior citizen building, but he calls it the pool hall because that's what he does when he go there.
Only lost to
That's
him once.
nice.
Only played him once. So we should have got.
You take your money?
Nice we can get him a pool table, but where would he put it?
Where would he put it? Knowing him,
Next
he a
gun.
bachelor, so he might put it in his living room.
Could have looked at an outdoor pool table. They actually make those.
He might actually put it in his living room.
But that's us, and that's kind of my backstory. The beautiful woman that supports and and does all the stuff like Keith said, the check engine light. But more of the what you doing, why you doing that, what's going on, And then I used to think it was a challenge, but I see that it's more of just trying to understand so she can see how to support. It's tough. I ain't gonna say I'm always like, yay, I get some feedback. No,
Sign me up.
yeah, sign me up for more. No, but I look at it differently from time to time,
Yeah.
and it's usually about just making sure she knows how to align support. But that's us. Got a gallon of Jones. That's my hashtag. A gallon.
That is so cool. I like it.
Well, I've said that before. A gallon of Jones. Just because you just can't have a sip of Jones. You got to have a gallon. Something to drink.
Is that your hashtag?
No.
I think it will be now. Gallon of Jones.
Hashtag a gallon of Jones. Now that is it right there. I'm sold.
Yeah,
Your husband, he out here just making hashtags.
I told you he was the inventor.
Hashtags and hash browns.
If you ask me, my husband was the inventor of hashtags. Team Goodine was ours. And then when Deuce was born, when I was pregnant with Deuce, it was Team Goodine +1.
Yeah.
Oh,
And now every engaged couple got to have a hashtag. What's that marriage group I'm on? What's going to be my hashtag? This is my name. This is my husband's name. I said, my husband came up with that.
Just have a QR code. Just do something.
My husband came up with that. That's my husband's thing.
That's your side
no
hustle right there.
royalties from it, but he came up with it.
Make people pay you to come up with hashtags.
I love it, boo.
Well, okay.
I like that. That was cute. Even if y'all don't adopt it, I'm using it. A gallon of Jones.
We gotta let the Joneses talk.
Okay,
She's
I'm
like,
sorry.
no, I'm using it. We used it. Y'all better use it.
Y'all better use it. That's it.
Well, I say change it, and then we like, start getting a Sharpie and just scribble all over the
They
decoration.
gonna post something else. I'm like, hashtag gallon of Jones. They gonna have their own. Meet the Joneses. You know that's wrong.
the next picture I post, I'm gonna have hashtag a gallon of Jones.
That is so
Boom.
cute. I love
and that
it.
encompasses the entire family too.
I love it.
Yeah,
I
it
love it.
does.
That's what I'm talking about. Not just a quart, not just a pint, but a gallon of Jones. See how I said that hushed tone? Gallon.
Okay, we're gonna let them talk.
Okay, let us talk now.
It's funny because he was just saying, babe,
story.
we gotta let them talk. We gotta let them talk. Gallon of Jones. Who wanna go first? You go first.
So
Oh Lord.
Now tell the truth and shame
this
the
is
devil.
the truth, okay? I didn't even know I had this picture. Wait, I can't see.
I can see it.
Can you
What,
see
his
it?
butt out?
Yes, that's how I met him. Butt out. This is from 1999. Okay.
Oh, is that
I
a
didn't know that
USM
picture.
Oakwood thing? That little
It
hold
was
down?
the Caribbean Fest for
Oh, okay.
Oakwood
I wasn't there for that.
College at the time because it was college. 1999. That was my freshman year. I did not know that picture existed, but he kept on saying he remembered me as Chrissy's little sister, and he was only there for 2 years. And in my head, I was like, Negro, we didn't meet because I didn't come till my sister was a junior. So we didn't meet. So in my head, it was just like, where do I know you from? That picture gave me proof that I did meet him my freshman year and that we had interaction. So to get that picture recently was like, yes, we did meet when I was in Oakwood. So that was nice. So we originally met at Oakwood when I was a freshman back in 1999. Years later, some fluff happened. But after the fluff, he inboxed me on Facebook because I posted a song.
Thank God for Facebook, ain't it?
I'm trying to tell you. I hate it most times, but it does serve a purpose.
Facebook.
Yes. It was a song So Will I. And he messaged me talking about something. Oh, I finally learned the words to the song because you sang it. I didn't know it and all that good stuff. And I think he just tried to small talk me a little bit, I guess, to break the ice and start conversing, maybe. I don't know. But before that, I started seeing a African person because his name was spelled backwards, so I thought he was African. He was liking all these
Sinaj or something.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yes, see? So I'm like,
But
who
I didn't
is
know
Anthony?
that's what it was, that his name was spelled backwards.
I didn't realize his name was spelled backwards until we actually started talking, because I was like, who is this African person liking all these pictures? And why do we have so many mutual friends? I don't know who this is. He says he didn't stalk my Facebook page, but I say he did. Okay, because I saw this Hatik Sanaj, like these pictures. So then we started conversing, and I will say the talking was kind of dry. And then we started
Texting was dry. Sorry.
Yeah, texting and messaging each other. So I said, let me spice it up and let us play Words with Friends. So we started playing Words with Friends back and forth, and sometimes it would take a while for him to get back to me. So I'm like, who does that? But apparently he was working in the prison, so he couldn't get back to me right away. And the Wi-Fi and the internet connection was really bad there. So that's why there would be pockets of no reaction, no nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So after a while of playing Words with Friends, I finally dared him to call me, because I was like, this man, he ain't doing nothing. So I was like, I dare you to call me. And he's on his end, he's like, she must not know who I am. So he calls me, I missed the call, and he leaves a message. I hear his voice, and I'm like, So I call him back. It was lunchtime. We stayed on the phone until I had to pick my boys up at 6 from daycare. And I saw
that's that 80s type of.
So that's like 6 hours of talking
the whole time, right? And I was just like, this man is not boring at all. Like, wow, he got me laughing. He got some flavor. Like, he's so easy to talk to and relatable. And there was one time where I was just having a horrible day. I do not like crying. I do not like breaking down in front of anybody. Okay. Mm-hmm. But something just kept on telling me, call Keith. Just call Keith. And it was the perfect time, because he was just getting off his lunch break. And I called him, and I immediately broke down. And he was everything I needed at that moment. He was empathetic. He listened. He was understanding. And I felt so, after I hung up the phone, I was like, he's everything I needed. He's everything I needed.
Well, yeah, because I mean, I knew when Keith worked in the prisons, and you have to be short there. You can't show emotion at all. You probably can't even text emojis when you're in the prison. It's got to be,
no,
how you doing? I'm okay.
Fine.
I mean, you can't. If they see a moment of weakness, then he could have been attacked.
Yeah, I have a friend that used to be a case manager in the prison, and that's what she said, that she had to kind of put on face.
You do. It does change you. It does change you working there. But I wasn't like that with everybody, fortunately. Some people I got to be a little lighter, but yeah, working in there, it's pros and cons to showing emotions.
And y'all, he gave me his work number.
I did give.
He gave me his work number in the prison, right? Because sometimes
the way she said it made it seem like he was sneaking contraband.
Contraband, right?
She just knew that was important,
right? Because I'm like, and after I learned that not many people had his work number, because one, he didn't want to be bothered at work and all that other kind of stuff. But I started to see a shift, because before it was like crickets chirping, until he got back to me. And then he was getting back to me like boom, 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 like clockwork. And I got him on Marco Polo. And he was like, this is odd, because I'm normally on the other side of the camera. But like me, I'm like, you good? Come on, this Marco Polo messaged me. And then we started Marco Poloing all the time. And we built this amazing, solid friendship. And I'll never forget, there was a time I was talking to him, and I was just in the act of doing things and just trying to be there as a friend and everything. And I said to myself, oh my goodness, I love this man. I love him. I love
I
So
remember that
then
feeling. It was
we
like,
weren't even
what?
in a relationship yet, right? So then I started dropping hints. Well, like, I'm not gonna be waiting around forever. And if
Mm-hmm.
somebody want to go
Those
out
are
on a
not
date with
hints.
me,
That type of statement is not a hint. I'm not going to be. That is an ultimatum. That is not a
Thank
hint.
you.
Ain't,
Thank
ain't,
you.
ain't nothing subtle about that.
You were
I'm not
good.
waiting around forever.
I didn't
I
say it, but
wasn't.
I was timing him in my head. I never said it to him, but I was like, dude, you leaving too much stuff at my house. It ain't gonna be too much longer for you have to get this stuff up out of here.
And you
If I'm
gotta
either
either
gonna get a
decide you
ring
gonna
or
be
you
with
gonna get
me or
out.
come get your stuff.
Yeah, you ain't finna keep leaving stuff. I mean, it was all kinds of stuff. He just like every time he came, he was like, I'm gonna just drop this off here and see what she say. I let it all stay, but in my mind, I was like, yeah, you got a deadline for. I'd be
Stay
like,
in
come
the
get your
closet.
stuff.
That's where my stuff stayed, in the closet, in a small closet, not in a walk-in closet.
Even
Next to
still,
the
this
green
was my
beans. It was
house.
next to the green beans.
It was in my house. So
Right. And
for you to occupy space in my house, it was like, dude, okay, I ain't gonna say nothing. But
right.
mentally, you got a timeline, and I'm gonna tell you, can you take this back to your house?
He wasn't leaving.
And you finna be part of the rotation.
Circle you back right in there.
Right
You
back
about to
into the
put,
pool.
Whatever.
I'm about to put
I
you back
told
in the
you there
room.
was a 2 year. I had a 2 year
He
plan.
did. He told me. Let me tell y'all. Can I tell y'all this real quick? I should be ashamed of myself. He was standing in the kitchen of my apartment, and he said it was 2010. Dang, it's 2022. It was 2010. He said, I'm going to make you my wife in 2012. I said, yeah. Get the trash, take it out.
That sound like y'all.
Get the
Today.
trash. Can you take the trash out? And I walked back in my bedroom like, this dude is tripping. Just take the
Declaration of
trash
love,
out.
Slap in the face.
I'm
That's
not
like,
thinking about
now,
that.
now it's
Slap your
definitely
face.
going
I
down.
just got out of a 5-year relationship. Do you think I think this man was really? I was like, yeah. That's y'all all say. Get the trash. Now I asked you. He said, "What do you need me to do?" He did ask me that, and I said, "I don't like the raccoons in the trash can. When you come, if my trash can is full, can you please take the trash out? Because I hate seeing the raccoons just
So
sitting
he
there
out there
chilling."
fighting raccoons bare
Yeah,
knuckle.
he did. Still didn't think nothing about it. When he stood in my kitchen in 2010, and said to me, as he was about to get the trash, in 2012, I'm going to make you my wife. I said, okay, can you take the trash out?
Okay, so back to the Love Jones story, Gallon and Jones. So at this point, you feel like you love him, or you know that you love him. Y'all are
Yes,
not in
I
a
knew I loved
relationship.
him.
Then what happened?
Yeah, what happened?
And we saw each other for the first time. And I made dinner, all that good stuff. I had my family over. He
So
showed
all
up,
this time, y'all were just virtually talking and on the phone?
virtually talking on the phone, Marco Polo, everything. That is fortunately, because sometimes couples don't take the time to become friends. That's fortunately how we were able to establish a friendship. And when I tell you, like, I've told this man everything. I confided in him, I trusted him. There were days where I was like, I gotta talk to Keith. And I would always say things like, yeah, officially unofficial. Because it got to a point where it was like, what you waiting on? You moving like molasses. What you doing? And for him, he was like, I need to make sure everything is right. And I respect him so much for that because he was protecting me, and he was making sure his house was in order before things were made official. So I appreciated that. And he did it in the most beautiful way. It was November. I don't remember the exact date, but it was in November, and we went out to go get a couple's massage, even though we weren't a couple. So we came back, and I asked him a question, and I said something like, if I was ever to leave this world, what's one thing that you would want me to know? And he looked at me and he said that I love you And that turned into him asking me to not necessarily be his girlfriend. I can't remember verbatim what he said, but basically making it official that we'd be in a relationship. And it was just like, I was blown away because I wasn't expecting him to make nothing official in no November. I was like, he gonna wait till January, February next year. But I kept on telling him, I ain't waiting forever. I'm not. I don't got time for that.
It's another one of
So
those hints.
either you know or you don't know. What's it gonna be? So then we got official. Yes.
So
What's that?
no, I was going because I mean I don't really need to know your side about how y'all met. You know, Danielle figured that out, gave us that, but
Well, fine then.
You don't need to know his side.
no, we don't because I want to know now. They're in a relationship. You know, what is it? They're both bringing kids to the table, but I want to know the thought process of Keith when you knew that you wanted to marry Danielle, and how did you know when you were going to do it?
Well,
When you were going to
I
propose?
can't do that without going into my side.
Well, fine.
So-
Go into your side. Go into your side. Fine.
Get it, Keith.
Now I forgot what I was gonna say. No, for the introduction has already out. Daniel already explained. I don't have much to say that would contrast that. I'm trying to think. It was something I was going.
So you
point
were a
out.
stalker. You were stalking her page.
No, that's why I needed to address this because I'm not a stalker. I'm not a stalker. I'm not a stalker. Let me tell you, she is right. I did send her message, and it really was a message where I noticed she sang a song that is difficult to learn as far as the lyrics are concerned.
So will I.
So yes, it was called "So Will I," and I was trying to learn it. And I saw the video, and I sent her messages saying, basically, "Good job on the song. How'd you learn the words? Because it's it's difficult." And she seemed like a cool person, and from what I remember, she was a cool person. So this wasn't stalking, not yet, but it wasn't stalking. It was just seems like a cool person. Say hi.
So you ain't like none of my pictures.
I like the one of you singing. I know I like that. I don't remember liking a bunch of pictures. I remember liking the one of you singing. I did like that one for sure. Any case, so I do remember the day she dared me to call her. And again, it was laughs. It was funny because again, I could tell she don't know me. She don't know. You see, I'm crazy. I was gonna call her and I did. So and then it was a great conversation. Like she said, we talked for a long time. And I saw she was a positive, happy person that is so sweet and so caring and funny. So we had a chance to again just talk and be friends. And like she pointed out, well, I'll say there were very few people who had my work number because they didn't need to. But I did not mind her having it because I enjoyed talking to her. It was we would have great conversations but as things kind of built on the statements, I heard the statements or what you call the ultimatums. I heard them, and in my mind, as I explained to her at the time, even when I was talking to her, I remember saying, I enjoy our conversations. I enjoy our friendship, but I also told her because I was in a position of transition. I wasn't sure what I wanted but I do know that you are an awesome person. I love our friendship, and I want to continue and see where this. And at some point, we'll see what this goes. Not see what this goes, but I wanted to continue to build on the friendship. And she said she was okay with that. So, again, we talked more. And she did get me on Marco Polo.
He had to get the hose out the way, basically. It was some hoes.
Where?
I mean, admirers. We don't call them that. They're admirers.
Loosey goosey, fast girls, whatever you want.
That's another podcast. Listen,
Yeah, that's another one. That's not about. This is origin stories and bringing out the women that have supported us over the last 2 seasons.
So,
That's
but
something different.
it got to a place where again I did recognize. Fast forward, we get to 2020 pandemic. Um, I wasn't like I said. Did I see myself being? I saw myself being chilling for a long time. I'll put it that way. After going through my transition out of the previous
It's okay.
administration,
Yeah.
that's what I call it. I saw
Administration?
myself
That's what he calls it.
administration after the previous administration. I saw myself chilling for a long time. Um, I, but I think not. I think I can't say I think when it comes to God. I know God knows best,
Yes.
and I think her presence was definitely for a reason. And while I do my best to calculate a lot of things in my life, I realize there's so much that is uncalculated. Sometimes I try to plan for things and they just happen. Like again, getting into a relationship, I wasn't planning on it, but when I saw myself, I couldn't imagine myself being with anyone else.
Couldn't resist this.
Yes.
It's just all this over here.
All over.
I just
All
said,
that.
oh, like I said earlier, he had to get the hoes and loosey gooseys out the way.
He couldn't leave that on the shelf.
Yes.
So
He knew this was his final destination.
fast forwarding to what's this? This is 2022. So wow. So we also went on the first date and we got all the way fast forward to this year.
When did you know I was wife?
You can tell that part.
Because apparently I had a ring already, so I had to know at some point. When did I even buy the ring?
I don't know, but I remember Brian came home and said, Keith bought a ring. I said, oh, this
What
is
he
serious. I hadn't met you yet, but I was like, oh, this is serious.
Yeah, I bought it and it came. And even then it was like, okay, there's no pressure. I don't have to ask right away. But when I'm ready, I do have it. Like I said, sometimes I do try to plan. So I had it. And
You had it.
I had
I
it.
knew you had it.
Yeah. All the guys knew I had it. I sent them a picture.
I know the guys knew. I said, I knew
But
you
I
had
was
it.
gonna say, well, I assume anything I tell him, I assume
It was important then.
it was
You
important.
make
Right.
it
It's
sound like
important.
I'm
Me
just
to know.
an open trap of secrets.
No, I'm your wife. You supposed to tell me.
So
I just said Keith.
I know you don't
nice
tell me
lady,
everything, but I
and
knew
he-
that one.
and he loves.
yeah,
her,
and it
he
was
got
okay.
her
It
ring.
was okay.
I knew
mean,
that
it was,
one. You supposed to tell me
Keith got
that.
it. I could see him because he was excited. Good. Actually, they all
Yeah.
were. I ain't gonna lie. Well, I told
Oh,
Pee
yeah.
Wee.
Well, I mean, from the previous administration, yes. We want you to be happy.
Right. So and that's what
I
made
ain't
me
gonna say what
like
this sound like.
I'm genuinely happy. So I bought the ring, and she threw me a surprise birthday party this year, which I was surprised.
You did
I
that,
did
girl.
not. She got me. Y'all got me. Because everybody asks, well, how did you? Because for those who don't know, I happened to propose at the party. But
Did
people
he?
ask, how did you have the ring? How did you know to bring the ring? I did not know that it was a surprise party. I thought she told me we were going to a photo shoot. So in my mind, I thought I'm going to do it there that way I'll have a photographer to capture an authentic expression.
Listen, and my sister and his mom's husband. My sister was like, what you trying to do? Get him to propose? I was like, girl, please, whatever. And then his mother's husband came to me and was like, we all know this ain't no surprise party. This is really an engagement party. And I'm like, yeah, no.
He said
surprise
that.
party.
I mean, I just remember when you was walking Keith in, you ran him into the door in a pole.
And so happened.
Everybody was like, "Oh,
He would remember that. That's what he
It
gonna
was
bring.
funny.
that's because the surprise had to been gone because everyone in the room was like, oh, because it was a loud bang.
It was funny. It was funny. She walked me
Go
right
back
into
to
a
your
pole.
Yeah, I did a bad job at leading, and I was just like, oh my goodness, I don't want these people thinking I'm a horrible person because I let him run into some things before he got into
To me, I wasn't hurt. It was funny.
And I'm laughing at the same time. And I'm like, oh no.
That's like,
After, like, you know how you think about things after. And I'm just like, oh shoot, I'll meet his family for the first time, and they see me run him into some stuff.
she
That's
laughed.
part of this.
We didn't have. She was like, "Did you hit the pole?" Ah!
Okay, so we're now after they hit the pole, and
So
the
after
way
the
I
pole, we
sound,
come
it
in.
sounds weird. Okay, I'm gonna stop
Yeah,
saying
it
hit the
doesn't-
pole.
So
Doesn't
we
sound
come
right.
in. So y'all surprised me, and again, I'm excited. And at that moment, I still don't know if I'm going to do it. I did. It wasn't like, oh yeah, I'm definitely going to do it. I still am sitting. I'm enjoying the festivities and everything, and I'm still debating on whether I was going to do it or not. It was hot. I stepped outside to get some air, and you were out there, and so was her dad, and it was perfect because I was able to first have a conversation with him.
I have to acknowledge this. This was a very extremely romantic gesture
Girl, was it?
because he did something.
I screamed.
He
You
did
weren't the
something.
only one.
I know it was me and Danielle.
Yeah, right. He did something that meant so much because all the people that meant everything to me, they were there.
Mhm.
And his family was there. My children and his children were there. And he wasn't even supposed to have his kids on that day. And I'm like, yo, ask if you can get the kids because we're doing this big photo shoot. It was just something that I did not want them to miss, celebrating their dad, and just enjoying the festivities. I don't feel like it would have been complete if they weren't there. So it just worked out that they were able to come, and I was so happy. So it was just like the perfect moment. And that's why I love this man. He continues to find ways to have me fall deeper in love with him more and more and more just by the things that he does and the things that he says. And just, I mean, I don't even get emotional because I've just been going through some things recently, and just how he shows up to support me and to make sure I'm okay. It's amazing. And I'm truly blessed to have him in my life. I really am. He is my Boaz. He's my answer to prayer because Lord knows I've been through so much hurt, so much pain. And when you think about the word and how it says that he will give you the desires of your heart. God holds true to his promises. And sometimes I need to step back and reflect on that because my selfishness and my, me gets in the way of realizing certain things. Like there was a time where I was like, oh, babe, you don't do romantic things and da-da-da-da-da. And he took my trash out without me having to say anything. And I screamed, babe, that's a romantic gesture. And I didn't scream it for him. I screamed it for me because it was like, yes, because these are things that I need to realize what romance looks like, and what he does to speak to my love language. And when I sit back and think of all the things, I'm like, God, you did more than just give me what I need. You gave me beyond what I could ever imagine. So I'm so thankful for this man.
Thankful for you too. Oh.
That was a good recap.
She gonna make me get all weepy
of how they came together and the engagement. Of course, it wasn't as dramatic as if I would have told it because there was some. I remember Keith.
Well, I
was
didn't
talking
finish.
about. Huh? You not finished? Oh, you
Because
finished?
Yes, the engagement was actually I was saying I had the ring because the engagement was actually supposed to take place this August. I just thought about it. We're still in 2022. So I bought the ring. We were planning a family trip in August to go to Nashville. I was planning to do something in Nashville. I learned that they won't let just anybody get up at the Grand Ole Opry and play because I tried. I had a whole idea of how I wanted to do this proposal, and they shut me down. Who you? You? It's like the country convention center of sorts down south. So I had started working on some things to do some things in August, but when we got there, like she said, everybody that I would have wanted in the room, minus a couple of people or a few people, was there. But the core, like the kids, her, my parents, or my brother, her parents, it was like, well,
my sisters, my nieces and nephews,
and I think, and y'all, of course, I'm about to say the good Onses, and I think
Onses was there.
Y'all were there.
We were in the number.
Y'all were the first table when I walked in. So I think when I go back and reflect on it, I really do feel that God shut down my previous plans because I was working hard to put something together. Everything I was being told no. Like everywhere I was I even called this lady to help me do something, and everything I was trying to set up for Nashville was not working. So it came to a point where I felt like this ain't because it's not working. It's because you're not supposed to do it then. And then the opportunity, again, it presented itself. And I actually had it. I talked to her dad. I talked to Bryant right after that. And I talked to all the kids. I told them what was about to go down. So everybody in the room basically just about knew, except for her.
Yeah, you told Jasmine.
I told Jasmine her sister was about to leave, and I said, "You don't want to leave yet." And she was like, "For real? Today? Right now?"
And my sister Christy, she came just in time because they came late, and they all walked in like moments before.
So yeah, and again, all I wanted to know is, will I get a chance to say thank you? I was asking you, let me know when I can have the mic so I can tell everybody thank you. And like I said, I knew, and the kids knew. Good on everybody knew, but you didn't know.
Sure didn't.
And everything I had planned to say, I couldn't say because I couldn't. The screen. Yeah, I was surprised by your reaction. I didn't expect, but I wasn't. But I was.
Because I was filled with so much emotion, and I didn't even hear you propose. I just saw you get down, you know what I'm saying? And at that moment, it was like this man did something so romantic. It was, and just the moment was so important. And here I am making sure his day goes well, making sure he's highlighted and celebrated. And on his day, he did something so selfless, so it was an act of love, a romantic gesture, and the closing of the molasses. It wasn't molasses. He didn't move slow with that, I don't feel. It was just perfect. So.
It's not slow. I really don't feel I'm that slow, but I know you do.
Some things, like I feel like, no, maybe not.
You let me know when you feel it, and I'm okay with that.
The more I think about it, like, no, everything was done in God's time and how it was supposed to be done. So I can't say
it was perfect. It was perfect.
Yeah, I tried to record it.
You stuck with me forever.
That's
forever.
Yeah, so this is, it's one of my favorite couples. And, because of...
we finally have a favorite couple.
Yeah, we do.
We've been told that we were the favorite couple, but we now have a favorite couple. So we thank you.
Yeah, and they came over, too. Sorry you missed it.
I missed it.
Yeah, we did miss you when we came over. We had so much...
It was a lot of fun.
We coming back because all the kids still talk. I know they asked when we going back over.
Yes.
You had all the games, you had everything.
Yeah,
that's him.
Yeah, everything, even snacks.
We gotta have a double date night. We got to do that where we go out
and girls' night.
Yes, we definitely have to have a
We
girls'
have
night.
to have a girls' night.
Listen,
Please
come
have a
on now.
girls' night.
We gotta have a girls like weekend
Yeah, take a
getaway.
weekend.
Let's do
Go.
it. Let's do it.
Go.
I'm ready.
Me
That
too.
don't stop me. Go. I applaud
I'm
that. Go
ready.
ahead and do that. It's
Yes.
when y'all separate, when we separate, it makes the love when you come back together stronger.
It does. It
Yeah, people need a
does.
break these days. No, but so this is the last one for this season. This year, we're ending 2022 with again the two women that are beside us, who sometimes go in front of us, sometimes protect our backs, and has supported us throughout this journey. And I wanted to make sure that our listeners, and even those who will watch this, that they'll get to see, just the elegance, the beauty, the strength,
Amen.
behind, the iron table. Because without the both of you, our table would be not only rusty, probably wouldn't even be a table, probably be like a stool or something, some coffee tray, something from the 80s or something that, we probably only have TV dinners on it or something like that. But let the world know that I love you.
I love you too.
I love y'all too. The
And
Joneses.
we
We do
love
love the
y'all.
Joneses. We do love the
Yeah.
Joneses.
And
Love y'all too.
if I have any well wishes for 2023, I hope that we have more opportunities as a group to support each other in whatever way we need, and that we're able to have conversations like this about highlighting Black love, the origins of it. Sometimes we'll probably talk about just those tough times and just navigating through it, and what support looks like, what romance looks like, so that people can have what we have or even better. I'm always about trying to get the community to grow. So I thank you for sitting here, for again empowering and supporting us to do what we do. Keith, you have anything, or Danielle, or even Misi? I've said my piece. But if y'all have
And the
anything,
work that it takes to have a healthy relationship and stay together.
yeah, we'll get
Oh,
on
that's
that.
a whole nother
That
podcast.
is.
That's a
The whole
whole
That's
It
a
extra
whole.
is.
podcast.
Because, people nowadays, they get married and they have this fantasy set in their mind like it's supposed to be a certain way, but they
Yep.
forget, like, no,
It takes
you
two
marry
people
that
to
person.
define that marriage.
Exactly.
True.
And it can be a beautiful thing. It is a beautiful thing.
Should
It
be.
is.
It should be.
But, sometimes
but it
people
takes
are just
work,
too
and I
selfish.
It does.
Yeah.
A lot of
and
it.
I think that's the thing that's missing with a lot of people, that they don't understand that it takes work, and it's sometimes it might feel like a thankless job, but it's always beneficial at the end. It's always beneficial at the end. Yep.
Well, all right, my friend.
Well, that's it for the Iron Table today. We hope you enjoyed your meal. Don't worry about the bill, for truth is always free. Since you got a free meal, why don't you do something for us? Leave a tip. Tell your family and friends, for there's always room at the Iron Table.